introduction of Millennium Prophecies, a book written in 1994. Those are my bubbles glasses. These are my cooler glasses. That light's kind of harsh. All right. Introduction. What does the immediate future hold for all of us? I don't know about this light. The end of the millennium is due to less than. Man, that's not gonna work. Oh. Okay. I'm just reading the book with my globe. This is episode 1. May not work. And all the fans are off, and it's really hot. Okay. Greetings, my friend. Let's just start over. Backwards. All right. Introduction. What does the immediate future hold for all of us? And remember, this book was written in 1994. That makes it so important. The end of the millennium is due in less than 7 years. We're 19 years past it. Who can afford to ignore the momentous events promised for this time? Here's a picture. Watch out. These pictures are racy because, like, everything from, like, the 90s. I don't know if people can handle it these days. Who can afford to ignore the momentous events promised for this time? Well, technically, a lot of people can't because there's a lot of money floating around right nowadays. You know what I'm saying? The end of the world has always had a grim fascination for prophets. I'm a prophet, you're a prophet. Wouldn't you like to be a prophet too? This was an early 16th century vision of Christ presiding over the resurrection of the dead. You know, the Bible and other places talk about resurrection of the dead, they come back to life. We always think that that's zombies. But the way sometimes when people talk about it, they talk about it like it ain't gonna be so bad. Like, hey man, them people come back from the dead would be cool. And so I don't know, we're just gonna go with it for now. Hell, we aren't even past the first paragraph. The end of the world has always had a grim fascination for prophets. And perhaps, oh, is it? Crap. Damn you, audio. What about now? How does that work? Where's the microphone? Hola. Audio's too low. All right, I'll get closer. Sweet. We envisage it in terms of either natural disaster affecting us like earthquake, famine, plague, flood, fire, freezing, cosmic collision, ecological catastrophe, or divine being punishing us all for wrongs committed. Wait a second. I thought all our sins, and especially original sin, had been forgiven. What the hell's going on? I know we're reading along. Whichever of these may overtake us, it is inconceivable that the world will end. The world is pretty durable, if you ask me. We, mankind, that's us, may come to a full stop. Whoa. But the earth will continue to hurtle round the sun just as it always has. But will it? That sentence is confusing. I'm just going to keep reading. Huge cosmic collisions between Earth and forces from outer space have been recorded in the sacred writings of every race. No matter what, people have been here for a long time. Hello. Some modern prophets like Emmanuel, Velakovsky, have drawn on this ancient evidence to suggest that the time may be ripe for another such planetary collision. We're talking planets in collision. That's crazy. When stars collide, technically they're planets or comets. If they collide, then are they a planet or are they a comet? It would only take one meteorite. It would only take one meteorite of modest size to capsize the climate of the planet. Right. So one meteorite can kill us all. That's why we started Asteroid Fight Club. Though the main concern of Asteroid Fight Club was always hyperinflation. And then we figured out we had a whole lot more problems. How are we doing? As a stroke, we Earth dwellers could be wiped out as surely as the occupants of Atlantis were once allegedly destroyed. It's rumored that the Martians screwed up Mars, and then the Martians screwed up Atlantis, and the Martians may screw up now. Who doesn't love oil and war always? For the prophet, whether a bearded high priest or a bearded hippie. Whoa, do you have to have a beard to be a prophet? That excludes some women. That is racist. Did the patriarchy write this shit? Okay. For the prophet, whether a bearded priest or bearded hippie, the fascination of pinpointing the last apocalyptic day is overwhelming. And remember, every single culture has been fascinated by this since all the old ancient holy books were written. To do this, the prophet looks at the wheels of the cosmic clock to understand the nature of time. He or she measures the ages, probes back to find the date of creation, and performs mental gymnastics on every single number mentioned in the Bible or other holy books, scans the skies, or tries to find a mighty enough planetary conjunction that could trigger the fatal event. I don't know, man. As far as I read it, the Bible says there will be 1,000 years of peace. Why does everybody always want to skip that? Why does everybody always want to skip the good times? What the hell do we work for? What the hell do we fight for? What the hell are we trying to get to? All the worry about annihilation and eternal damnation might prove to be misplaced, however. Ooh, hope, it's around. The gaping jaws of the apocalypse might not snap shut, ensnaring us all. Well, that's good news. Okay, an apocalypse means, thank you. That was the plan. For anybody who wants to listen to semi-apocalyptic story time while going to bed. I'm having computer problems ever since I deduced where the hurricanes might go and the date they might get there. Man, people are really upset about that. Really upset. Like, wildly upset. Like, a whole team of them. They're like, whoa! Like, why did you do that? We did not want you to do that. And I was like, okay, dude, that's fine. It's still a free country, asterisk. And if you're following along at home, every country in the world just agreed to have free and fair trade, asterisk. And then Trump was like, I'll go meet Kim Il-jung in the DMZ. So, good energies abound. Let's get back to the apocalypse. The gaping jaws of the apocalypse might not snap shut, ensnaring us all. Many might survive the ordeal, or it might never happen because there's no need for it. Well, that sounds great. Yeah, there's no need for everybody to die, or a bunch of people to die. Prophecy's there to mitigate the future and disaster. I have these glasses. I'm gonna put on the bubbles. You guys watch Trailer Park Boys? My bubbles glasses. My kitties, Julian. What about my kitties? Are my kitties okay? What's she like better? Okay. You're just listening. Even now, the children of the 60s, that time of hope and idealism, are taking up the reins of power. Well, holy crap, now it gets scary. Even now, the children of the 60s, that time of hope and idealism, are taking up the reins of power, guided by their vision for a better world. And the time this book was written in 1994, I believe the national debt was like $2 trillion. You know, so those 60s kids, guided by their vision for a better world. This must have been written before they shot Kurt Cobain. We might avoid the worst scenario. That's what I'm here for. That's what I've sacrificed everything for. Good morning. And that's what I believe, that my personal belief, Jesus Christ has called me to try and make everything better. That we're all our brother's keeper. And that we're all in this together. So here we go. Guided by their vision for a better world, we might avoid the worst scenario. That's the plan. That's Ask for a Fight Club right there. Avoid the worst scenario and try and get the best plan available. I believe that's what they're talking about in G20 right now. Although I highly recommend all those leaders roll a couple blunts, drink a little bit of purple scissor, and then walk on a beach and talk about peace. That would be awesome. What about my kitties, Julian? Well, hello, beautiful. Um, okay, great. The New Age philosophers and their forerunners, like Aleister Crowley and Madame Blavatsky, have wedged open the doors of perception to wider consciousness based on non materialistic values. Their influence may prevent mankind from self destructing and lead him to a paradise on earth in the form of a theocratic kingdom which can look forward to 1,000 years of peace. Hell yeah! I'm sorry, heavens, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Why am I the only kid that grew up believing in? Can you guys see that? Does that say? Why are my glasses not showing me? All right, it says it right there. That was the whole. I grew up. I was raised Lutheran, and we were raised to believe that 1,000 years of peace was coming, and so that's what we were working for. And so that I don't know. It's like everybody. This was in 1994. Remember this? What I'm saying? Mars took over Earth in like 1996, and so it became all Mars, and we're hopeless, and Y2K, and everybody's gonna die, right? But here, before they shot Kurt Cobain, they still talked about 1,000 years of peace, and then they just ended. 10,000 years is great. Well, this is what we decided. I'm not getting religious, but we are the sons of Jesus Christ. So it's our responsibility to make sure his other children are taken care of well and that we get set off in the right direction. And you are awesome, Colleen. And 2cups.red. And you, oh shit, I forgot his name. Amen. Amen, Minutemen. And the Minutemen were like the original Asteroid Fight Club. Despite, and I'm going to read this again. Their influence may just prevent mankind from self-destructing and lead him to a paradise on earth in the form of a theocratic kingdom, which can look forward to 1,000 years of peace. And that is the whole, I mean, yep. Despite the fact that we are all still here, and many a deadline solemnly proclaimed has passed without so much as an apocalyptic tremor. Yeah, a lot of the truth really hasn't been uncovered yet. So we're getting there, I think, maybe, hopefully. It's been sketchy. I don't know if you guys heard, but there are a lot of planets in retrograde. I'm wearing my Bubbles glasses. What about my kitties, Julian? What about my kitties? I'm gonna wear that out. Okay. We would not dismiss the positive effects of such seemingly negative predictions. There is nothing like a deadline to galvanize humanity to action. Remember, this was written in 1994. Or greater piety. I don't think people know what that word means anymore. Or even greater craziness. See, did you guys hear it? It's going to get crazy. We may not always believe that the end is nigh. Perhaps it would be better for us sometimes if we acted as though it were. Hopefully I'll have a new fancy body by the end of the summer. That ain't growing so hot though. I left the apartment today because I had to finish that eclipse video. They've been attacking me so bad. I had to walk like, I don't know, 5 blocks to get to a place where they couldn't hack into my shit. And then I finished it. I put it up. It was great. And now I'm here talking to a bunch of beautiful ladies as they go to sleep with their teddy bears. Oh, wow. Man, that's the whole, I just got glasses a little while ago, so I'm starting to read shit again. But nobody warned me about when you wear glasses for a long time and then you take them off. It's like crazy. Oh, I have stared at a lot of eclipses. Maybe that's what caused me, or just old age. I'm 1,000 years old. Even if the world survives. Wait, did I skip shit? Sometimes beautiful women make me lose my place. Prophets act as our collective conscious. You're damn right about that. Daily maintenance. Yeah, but honestly, for like the last 6.5 years, all I've done is be in this damn, being a foxhole plugged into the matrix. Like, woo! Staring at everything. It's addictive. So I haven't really done any self-care. So I'm trying to get into that this summer, but it's difficult. We're getting there though. Okay. We may not always believe that the end is nigh, but perhaps it would be better for us sometimes if we acted as though it were. Even if the world survives the magic year 2000. Whoa. Or 2,000 years after the birth of Christ, or 2,160 years since the beginning of the Piscean Age, or the next grand conjunction. Grand conjunction function. Oh, I couldn't read that. What's your whatever? Or avoids the destruction of its protective atmosphere. Yeah, we have not been good to Mother Nature or the animals or ourselves, really. That's why I think Mars has been running the show since 1996. It's like they got a little radio robot over there that is sending a bunch of frequencies our way that are like, we want humans to be unhappy because that makes the meat taste better. Did you touch your toes and do 10 push ups? That's all you need. Well, I need a lot more than that. I did play football from like fourth grade to my freshman year in college. So I have an understanding of how to get in shape when the time comes. And the time is coming. What's your function? It's to get you to the next junction with a smile on your face. Okay, here we go. Or the next grand conjunction, or avoids the destruction of its protective atmosphere, or any other cyclical deadlines looming thick and fast. That's a weird order. One thing is certain. Every person reading this book will, in less than a century from now, meet his or her own end of the world. Whoa. Man, I'd like to have a lot more fun before the end of the world and resurrect rock and roll. If this book does nothing but stir its readers into making preparations for that day by doing now what they might have otherwise put off, then its author will be satisfied with his handiwork. Carpe Diem by Stephen Skinner. All right. So each one of these books has a wonderful chapter. Crap. Each one of those books talks about the sun and magnetic fields. You can't read backwards. What do you guys want to hear about? Check this out. There's no drawing I did. Can you see it? Notice, okay, here's the lady, I think, his girlfriend. There's Satori Ray Jones. And there's a jet ski, and there's two swords. Doesn't that look like a fun 4th of July? Ooh. Yeah. She's Asian and really cute, and he's a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white guy. So you have like the burning staircase. You guys remember Waco? It's in here. Everything's in here, man. This whole book is so badass. Temple of the Sun. Woo. There's even, they go over Aleister Crowley, the dawning of Aquarius, hippies, and the age of Aquarius, Timothy Leary, acid, the Aetherius Society. Really flipping weird there. Yeah, everything is totally weird. Ooh, Manson's Apocalypse. Remember when Charles Manson was like, man, I'm going to start a race war. And then they made a bunch of movies about him. Like, if you want them to make a movie about you, The Earth Strikes Back. If you want them to make a movie about you, or a Netflix series, all you got to do is like kill a bunch of people, eat a bunch of people, kill and eat a bunch of people, like rob a bunch of people. Just be a bad man, and they will make. I go over Volovsky a lot in this book because he had a lot of cool predictions, and he knew a lot of shit before it happened. Changing magnetic fields. All right. So over the next 5 days, because the team that doesn't want me on THORnews anymore or on YouTube, St. Mark's Apocalypse, if they're messing with my main machine, I'm gonna be on here, and I'll probably be reading you guys to sleep tonight, tomorrow night, and the next night. I guess let's start at the beginning. I'm so happy. There's a lot of beauty in this room right here. Okay. How about we vape together? Anybody want to vape together? Okay. On your marks, get set. I'm not good at vaping. You're supposed to. Whoa. Okay. Smoke them if you got them. Because July is getting me crazy. And literally, I'm tapped into a lot of shit. We literally almost had World War III like 4 times. It's just utterly insane that no one has, common sense anymore. At least not the really powerful people. I guess they do, or we wouldn't be here. Okay, I'm gonna start with chapter 1. Oh, hey, dude, I super appreciate it. Every single time I ever get a letter it always makes me very happy and feel very appreciated. So all the hate and beatings and shit I take for just trying to be cool and bring people the truth, it makes me like, hell yeah, I'm gonna keep doing that shit. Because there are a lot of good people out there. Okay, we're gonna start with chapter 1. And I know that two of my crushes are watching now. So that is cool. I mean, I think I gave up crushes the other day when I hung out with Harley. I don't change. I stay the same all the time. Look at my keys, Julian. Damn it. Okay, no. Time and chronology. They may mention Saturn. If that freaks you out, then you may want to run or whatever. We need to examine the concept and meaning of time in order to determine when to expect the apocalypse. And the apocalypse just means the uncovering, the unveiling, whatever you want to call it. I'm like half Sagittarius, half Saturn with like a dash of Gemini, maybe. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I am. Me and Saturn made good friends during the last Saturn transit. He's misunderstood. Here we go to time. Time is fascinating though. And the one thing that nobody seems to understand is dreams. Like people are now like quantum will save us all. Even Avengers was like quantum will save everybody. People can die. Just bring them back quantumly. But dreams is the thing that no one can explain. I've died so many times in my dreams in a million ways. It makes coming back to Earth. I would like wake up from a dream where I died and then wake up in Earth like, hallelujah, this is great. Thank you, Jesus. And then now when I wake up, like the last 6 months, a year, it's like I wake up on Earth and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this place? Seriously. I don't know. It's like the whole planet trying to exterminate all the cool people. Time is what distinguishes the present moment from the domain of prophecy and the domain of history. And you do realize the victors write the history, so we can only verify back a couple hundred years if carbon dating is total bullshit. And the victors write the spoils. I'm pretty sure America was set up as an extension of the Spanish Inquisition by pirates. But they're not going to tell you about that in school. Did they teach you how money was made in school? Oh no, they didn't talk to you about how currency is created. No, they didn't tell you about the double bookkeeping system that our whole world is. That's wild, man. But they tell you how to be a good employee. Sleep. Yeah. But sometimes I can fly. And I had a period like a month ago where like a lot of my crushes came to visit me in my dreams. So that was neat. Then I wake up on Earth like, what the fuck is this place again? Okay. The past we can only experience. Wait, I skipped. We can only truly experience the infinitesimal sliver of what time that is called the present, the now. It's like you got to be here in the now, and then you have to also be in forever, infinity at the same time. Once you can master that, you're good to go. Uh, Rarely do I dream. Yeah, but when you do dream, isn't it like so amazing? And isn't it strange? One of the things is like my whole life, that area between when you're awake and then when you fall asleep, there's a whole weird zone between when you fall asleep. I believe, you don't have to believe that, where you can never, the bridge that you cross, I can never remember it. It's just like when you come out of the dream, in that millisecond, you can remember everything. And then within like 1 minute, everything you were dreaming about is like slipped, except for like four still shots the whole dream. Dreams are wild. Here's a true story. In 1996, when I lived in Hollywood and was the hottest screenwriter in the city and went to every single studio in town and found out how creepy it feels when everyone in the room wants to have sex with you in a crowded room. I remember having a dream when I was out there, because there's a lot of pressure out there, even, that it was me and Steven Spielberg in the middle of a giant boat in really rocky waters. And we were just sitting at a table having dinner. And he looked really, 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 really sad. 1996. One of those dreams that I'll never forget. And I was a screenwriter, so he was one of my hero, and I got to go to DreamWorks twice. DreamWorks called me. I don't want to tell that story, but I remember in a dream he was just really, 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 really sad. That's always haunted me. Here we go. To map what they discover, we need to understand chronology. You see, a very few people, true prophets, do seem to be able to perceive glimpses of the future. Hey, dude, no way. You mean that shit is possible? Well, I'll be dang. No, okay. Chronology, the science of computing time both for daily and historical periods, differs from history, and that it takes no account of the significance of events or their relationship to each other. The Rosh Hashanah effect. Dude, can you imagine if you did like a Rosh Hashanah style movie with like Kitty Pryde, the White Queen and Phoenix? That could be interesting. Or you can change a bunch of the characters as you want. I don't know, characters freak people out. Many early civilizations used as their timepiece the changes in the moon's shape over the lunar month. We're talking about the moon again. This was soon found to be unsatisfactory. Wait, what was that? Many early civilizations used their timepiece, the changes in the moon's shape over the lunar month. So here's my crazy theory. Want to hear it? Conspiracy. What if the powers that be know that my planetary angular orbital momentum theory is correct, and that when all gas giants are on the same side, everything goes crazy? So during this time, they're trying to do like apocalypto on us, with trying to say like, oh no, it's the carbon, and that so when shit gets really weird over the next 3 years, and you got volcanoes and hurricanes and big storms and stuff, they'll be like, see, we told you we have to, like, it would be like a natural disaster 9/11 apocalypto style, and then they put in the carbon tax, which would only pass on the cost to the consumer, and technically wouldn't cap any carbon. Like if you tax cigarettes, it doesn't make people smoke less unless they're totally broke. What was it talking about? Oh yeah. The word early civilization must have triggered off my apocalypto. You guys ever seen that movie? It's a really good movie. This was soon found to be unsatisfactory, however. That's what she said. Because it could not be used to measure the seasons, especially the growing seasons on which lives and livelihoods depend. Oh. Seasons wax and wane, depending on the Earth's revolution around the sun. not an easy phenomenon to measure with the naked eye. I've tried it for hours and hours, and that may be why now I'm partially vision impaired. Crank it up. All right. More advanced civilizations use the solar year. The dated events from some arbitrary date of national importance, such as the beginning of a king's reign. Huh, we haven't had a new king reign in a long time. Hey, Richard Nixon almost got ET disclosure out. Yeah, I know, like I said, there are defense contractors out there who have a theory that I'm related to Val Thor physically. And that would make sense how I got to be so amazingly fucking smart when everybody else is like, hey man, politics. You know, like, I mean, oh, okay. The Greeks employed this epochal method of dating. Whoa, how is it epochal? I don't want to make fun of anybody's belief system. I'm just saying it. Because it's not like one super politician who's going to fix anything. Everything, man. Even at the very minimum, you boil it down, it's like 40 or 52 people who have to decide together to get everything to go in the direction we need to go. One man or a couple people may lead in the group, but you need a lot of people to work together to get to where we need to be. I like it when I laugh too. These are still reserved laughs. I love you. Her. They use the Olympic Games to break their chronology into groups of 4 years. And did you know basketball came from the Aztecs? I learned that the other day. I was reading something, and yeah, the Aztecs used to have a thing like basketball. I love you guys, y'all ladies, and dudes too. I'm sure as hell wouldn't be doing this living in a damn foxhole all the time. I miss my car. Speaking of that, oh, one. Wait, ladies, is there some type of like zoom car ritual? And if I'll scare you, boo. Okay. So when I met my Archangel Michael and his Hopi wife, they were really cool, except they were like, "You're not the chosen one." I was like, "Oh dang it, I hate failing." And whoa, check this out. It's a crystal. They gave me this too. It's a crystal ball, but I cannot see the future in it. You think Jesus is gonna be like, "I told you not to be playing with no crystal balls, boy. You're in so much trouble." All right, now I've lost my place. I got all the. Here's a helicopter. Hey, helicopter. And today, when I walked a couple blocks to find a place to sit down and finish my edit, man, the jets and the helicopters above me were going crazy for about 2 hours. Many early civilizations used as their time. Oh yeah, I got stuck in this sentence. The Greeks employed their epochal method of dating. Oh, put that ball down. It's just a ball. Greek dating was different than ours. But then 1994 dating was much different than 2019 dating, was much different than 2008 dating. Man, you know what's weird is for someone me who hasn't kissed a woman and a girl or anybody in a year and 7 months, my love life is really complicated. But yeah, here are the Olympic Games to break their chronology into groups of 4 years, dating events from the victory of Corobus in the first Olympic Games of 77-6 BC. The system was first suggested to Timaeus around 260 BC. If the Greeks' Olympic system were still in use today, AD 1994 would be the year of the Greek Olympiad 2771. Oh. Whoa, so the Olympics are like almost 3,000 years old. I did not know that. Thank you, book. And book is called Millennium Prophecies. I've held it for special moments just like this. What's the dating thing? I think dating is like when someone who has a female avatar favorites a tweet. Then it's like, man, I just had sex. I hope I didn't get pregnant. And wedding cake's delicious. I don't know, when people get excited about wedding, of course, the bride, the honeymoon, and the wedding cake. More advanced civilization. Wait, no, I'm skipping. So, like I was saying, I found that one video where the guy said the Aztecs used to sacrifice 20,000 people to their god, and that god sucked. And then I found a video like 10 years later. It was like the Aztecs would have dancing festivals and wouldn't sacrifice anyone. So it was like the Spanish Inquisition tried to cover up the tracks or some shit. Okay. We found out the Greek Olympics are 2,777 years old plus 19. Wait. So when does that make, okay, what is 2,777 plus 19? That would be 97. So we're like 3 or 4 years away from the year 3000. In the year 3000. I agree with that, Eurasian. I would definitely marry Eurasian. Who started talking about marriage? I had to be one of your personalities. I got to perfect my own sidekick. Like oh, and I got props. I got props galore. This is an angel. Thanks to the peoples who sent me this. I got little angels protecting me everywhere. And then if I get real scared, I got one of these things I can rub. It's like a rubbing. It's like armor and a little stone. People be like, I'm scared of precious gems. Like, calm down. I got a pirate pipe. It's okay. It's okay. Jesus has no problem with the pirate pipe. I'll remind you, Genesis paragraph 3. I God give you all green seed-bearing plants. The Babylonians chose the date of the foundation of their kingdom, 26 February 747 BC. This is way more math than I like. Under Nabonassar as their baseline for calculating dates. This in turn was used by the famous Alexandrian astronomer and the father of astrology, Ptolemy, who flourished in Egypt in the 2nd century after Dominiano AD. Similar thinking lay behind the dating system used by the Romans. Well, baby, why don't you give me an example of the difference between Roman dating and Greek dating? I would say that, but I fear it would backfire. Which starts from the foundation of the city of Rome, somewhere between 747 BC, and that was the year the 747 was invented, and the 753 BC, which is not as popular of a plane. For the Romans, AD 2000 would be 2754. It's a lot of fucking math, man. AUC, Anno Orbis Contriat. And my mouth is dry. Meaning from the founding of the city. Islam dates its epoch from the retreat of the Prophet Muhammad from Mecca to Medina on the 16th of July AD 622. The year 1378 in the Islamic calendar is equivalent to the Gregorian AD 2000. Yeah, you were right when you're like, damn it, time. It's going to scare everybody away from this dang series. The key date in Christian countries is, of course, the birth of Christ, which has an asterisk to it. Like, if, the day he was born, I don't think anybody knows. I definitely don't think it was in December. I would guess spring, but December would work. I think Jesus went and trained with the Buddha. He might have even learned Kung Fu. How do you think he figured out how to kick tables over? Okay, given this concept of BC, before Christ, and AD, Anno Domini. That reminds me of my sister. or after Christ's birth, was not actually put into practice until the monk Dionysius Exiguus suggested it in AD 533. And Dionysius was Jim Morrison's great grandfather. Before his idea was adopted, Christian countries used a dating system based on the supposed beginning of the world. What if the world never, I mean, what if the world has been here so long that, like, it doesn't fit into our time scales? The Mayans calendar system went on for like for forever, like trillions of years. And so Mother Earth seems like a trillions of years kind of thing that she can always, she's durable. Mother Earth seems very durable. You know, the day destroys the night, night divides the day. Tried to run, tried to hide, break on through to the other side. The Irish Protestant prelate and scholar Archbishop Usher, hey dude, he's still popular. Oh, he was until he hit Rihanna. I've never had a woman. I had like 4 or 5 women hit me though. I can't even make like 55% of my jokes in 2019. Where are we at here? We're almost past the boring stuff. Okay, the world 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 years, blah, blah, blah. Modern geological techniques have shown these dates to be ludicrously inaccurate. However, despite this shortcoming, and remember, we all have shortcomings, they do at least deal with the time scale in human history that we are able to relate to. Just imagine trying to encompass a dating system that spanned 4.6 billion years to the present. Can you imagine dating the same person for 4.6 billion years? I can, but I would highly recommend choosing wisely. You know what I'm saying? Hey, India, ride the lightning. You guys are cool. I would also marry an Indian woman. Why would you? Who brought up marriage? Somebody started talking about snow cones. Hey, Crystal, it's good to see you. Man, things are wild, huh? It is much differently than 2015. Who knows? Like, I think, yeah, things changed. Hey, Julie, things changed after 2012. Can we all agree on that? That, like, even Y2K, like, it kicked off an era, like a decade or two. It didn't all happen at once. 2012, whatever the hell happened, didn't all happen at once. Although maybe that's when sundogs were born. Somebody go and find me the very first time they took a picture of a sundog. Shit, I shouldn't have said that. Now they'll deep fake it back to where it's like, oh, dude, they had photos of sundogs way back in the 1925. They did that with one of the Eris photos with me once. A lot of times, if you noticed in my channel, since I started, I'll jump from subject to subject to subject because if I get too much heat around this subject, then I like jump to this subject, and I jump to this subject. Like you can only talk about the James Webb Space Telescope so many times. I mean, the people making that fucking thing are literally a defense contractor. You know what a defense contractor does? It figures out how to kill your enemies or keep your enemies from killing you and stuff. What was it talking about? Oh, yeah. These notational dates of when the world began or Christ was born or Rome was founded are symptoms of man's need to mold reality to his own pattern of thinking. Bingo. Kind of like somewhere in this book. Hey, I'm very happy with the first episode because this is what I'm talking about. We used to talk about in the mid 90s, the 1,000 Years of Peace. It used to be part of the Lutheran Christian. Like, dude, we had a future of peace coming, and that's what we're working towards. And then social networking came and was like, oh no, OJ and Waco and Kurt Cobain and Monica Lewinsky's dress and 9/11 and all the politicians are eating babies. And for a second, I thought I looked like Paul Begley. That's weird. I wonder if he's related to Valiant Thor as well. Are you serious? Hey, Julian. What about my keys, Julian? Shit, fucked it up. What I liked about Julian was he always has the drink. Like when he was in prison and he had the like light blue. I like that show. Where are we at? It got boring. Days, lunar months, and years do not, in fact, fit neatly together as exact multiples. Yeah, that's true. Which brings us back to Velikovsky. But because we prefer a TD chronology, a tidy, titty chronology, titty chronology, tidy chronology. We have invented one that appears to fit together. Yeah, that makes sense. The notational dates of when the world began, or Christ was born, or Rome was founded, are symptoms of man's own need to mold reality to his pattern of thinking. Epochs and even numbers hold enormous fascination for us. That is so true. Man, there's a whole bunch of people who are like think math is the shit. Like if you could have sex with a number, a word, or an image, there are a lot of people out there who would always choose to have sex with a number over a word and an image every single time. Hey, man, as long as they're both consenting adult numbers, then I'm okay with it. More people should have love and cuddling. Oh, and they say that now of all the people who have been torn apart, all the relationships that have torn apart, your soulmates are gonna star children are gonna start finding themselves again. They're gonna start finding their twin flames, their partners, their whatever term of the day that people are using. So that's exciting. It's kind of like the all female X-Men DC romantic comedy trilogy crossover I've been writing. Kind of, it's about that, and all the superheroes have to team up, and have babies and stuff. Then it gets real complicated. Certainly, the next 7 years marked the culmination point of many key dates. And so this was written around 1993, 1994. And so we're way past all those key dates. We are now into like we are 1/5 into the century, like already. You know what I'm saying? That time's gone by really, all the things that have happened, like the quickening, it just keeps getting quicker. It's a hell of a ride. Wouldn't you agree? It is super high highs and super low lows, and then super high highs and super low lows. The whole twin flame stuff. I mean, technically, I've had 16 girlfriends. Technically, I loved each one of them. Still, a piece of my heart loves them all. I know people grow apart fast. People become different people. So I'm just hoping that I can find a woman that I get to kiss and cuddle with again. To be like, oh, and I'm gonna find the woman of my dreams. We're gonna stay together forever and have super kids. And my dad's mom and dad stayed together till they both died, and then my stepdad's mom and dad stayed together till they both died. But in the Tinder age, it seems, in the all men are garbage age, it seems. I don't know. Like I said, I'm just taking everything one day at a time. And was a question: if you were guided by Archbishop Usher's dating method, the key date will be 1995, exactly 6,000 years from the beginning of the world. Alternatively, perhaps 1999 is the key date, for if you count. Okay, I gotta finish it though. Shit. It's more, okay? It's only math chapter. For if you count from 5502, another world birth date, this year marks the 7,500th birthday of the world, or indeed the universe. And I believe the book is stating just from all the calculating men before, and technically, what is it? the blink of an eye is 1,000 years to God. So I don't know. It's like if you mash dream and quantums, that's I see things in shapes, colors, sounds, soft, smooth. Numbers is not really my thing. For contemporary astrological speculator Richard W. No one, the key date is the 5th of May, year 2000. So let me go check and see if anything interesting happened there. For Christians, however, the key date is still Christmas 2000. I did not, you will note, state 25 December 2000 because it is doubtful whether this was indeed the day which Christ was born. And I mean, it would be interesting to know uh, when he was born, what day. They say it's a Sagittarius like me, but I don't know. Maybe if Jesus was really funny, they just kept those parts out of the Bible, and that's understandable because the people who like to try and control us don't have a good sense of humor. The solar system's clock. Oh, here's another picture. Yeah. Time is recorded astronomically by the great clock of the solar system and its setting in the universe. The most basic cosmic occurrence for the man is the rotation of Earth on its own axis, which defines the length of the 24-hour day. The rotation of the Earth around the Sun defines a year. Wait, no way to get out of town. The rotation of the Moon around the Earth, a lunar month, or imperfectly, a calendar month. Unfortunately, the Creator did not make these three basic natural cycles divisible one into another. Okay. There are not, for example, an even number of days in the year or in the lunar month. As a result, man has produced several systems of reckoning drawn from his imagination. Perhaps the neatest of these was the Egyptian year of 360 days, made up of 12 months, each of 30 days, with 5 or occasionally 6 days dedicated to the gods as holy days. That is interesting. Well, I mean, I don't know. I still, whether you want to call them angels or demigods or subgods or little g gods, and I still think when people, I mean, everybody's here now. Like everybody's reborn now. Oh, even the littler demigods and shit. Yeah, secret. Yeah. If you think, but if that was true, I mean, I've done a lot of positive thinking about all my X-Men women. All of them. Some maybe a skosh more than others. Although that scene I wrote where, yeah, when Julius Caesar reformed the Roman calendar in 46 BC, 1 January was chosen as the date to mark the beginning of the year. In England, AD 1155, this was changed to 25 March to coincide roughly with the spring equinox. And in conformity with the European custom, in 1852, Pope Gregory the Eighth reformed the Julian calendar. 1 January was again adopted as the first day of the year, but the practice of each centennial year counting as a leap year was not dropped. England did not realign itself with Europe until 1752, by which time the Julian calendar was 11 days out of step with the seasons. Okay, so good news is we got the most boring chapter out of the way. And I think there's a good chance with them just trying to not let me edit anything or not let me do a one take video on anything. There's a good chance that I'm gonna be reading this whole fucking book live. Oh, I'm gonna try and I hope so. I put out a lot of love. Um, but the whole world is just gone crazy. Meaning of the Millennium. So that is the next chapter, the meaning of the Millennium. But I'm gonna skip ahead because you guys are special. Okay, so here you go. I'm gonna skip ahead to one of. Well, like I said, you can go to sleep. Whoa. And I'm gonna read each chapter, although I'm gonna break them up because I talk a lot. But because you guys, this is the first one, and this is technically the introduction. And I know at least 2 or 3 of my crushes have been around, and they may be sleeping now to my voice. I'm gonna probably read some more, and this is probably one of the more interesting chapters because most Christians seem really fascinated by the Antichrist. I myself have always been fascinated by the second coming, faithful and true. I don't believe his name is Jesus. They're 2 different people. Jesus was the lamb, and the second coming is faithful and true as a lion. I definitely don't think they're nailing his ass to his cross. Okay. Man, if they do a thing, you know what I'm scared of? If they do a thing where they can read your mind and then they go back and that every time you thought of a specific person and masturbated, that will count as like some type of toxic masculinity credits. So I'm gonna like fucking X-Men women, man. They're all really cute. Well, that was a crappy segue. Third Antichrist. Interpreters of the prophets, and I'm a huge Nostradamus fan. Are you? And I got to work on my lighting. By tomorrow night, I'll have this set up way better. The energy was good. The G20 was like, hey, let's all get along. They may be faking, but it's better than the World War III that they had going on. The third Antichrist. Interpreters of the prophecies of Nostradamus have identified Napoleon as the first Antichrist. And I don't know if you guys knew this, but Napoleon had a Napoleon complex. What about my keys, Julian? Yeah, I gotta watch some. I gotta get better at that. Whoa. But if I put on, there's always some crooked. These are Gucci. These are like $12,000, and these are Hermes. I got these on the moon for like $52,000. Actually, I got them at CVS or Walgreens. Who can tell the difference other than the letters they put up on the wall? Oh man, those glasses aren't even as good. Okay. This proves I'm no fun to lay in bed with. Interpreters of the prophecies of Nostradamus have identified Napoleon as the first Antichrist and Hitler as the second. Who is the third Antichrist? There are a lot of Antichrists, though, from what I've read. Nostradamus mentions the third Antichrist in his letter to Henry II. And if you want to read Nostradamus, A, you're going to have nightmares. And B, the letters he writes to his son and to the prince are definitely the choice reading. So if you haven't really read much Nostradamus, and it's acquired taste, I definitely would read the letters he writes to his son and the king because he breaks a lot of it down. Though, just like John Teeter, remember John Teeter was like, "Hey man, World War III's coming in 2015." But then it didn't, and maybe, excuse me, maybe John Teeter helped prevent World War III. If so, thank you, John Teeter. Now, if we can get out of that. Now, if we can figure out how to rebound out of not killing each other, and it's time, we're almost hit the 1 hour mark. At the 1 hour mark, we're gonna smoke them if we got them. This is an actual cigarette. If this shit offends you, my grandparents on my mom's side were tobacco farmers from Wisconsin. My grandparents on my dad's side were tobacco farmers from Wisconsin. And every time I quit smoking, I turn into a fucking asshole. I go days where I don't eat, and when I don't have cigarettes, I go crazy. So it's like might literally be the one non-essential as your planetary defense commander that I have. What's more loyal than a cigarette? Why did I sound like a joker when I said that? Okay, so let's get back to the Antichrist, shall we? Nostradamus mentions the third Antichrist in his letter to Henry II of France, dated the 27 June 1558. This being will appear after the Germans have driven back the whole of the Latin race. The timing and circumstances of his coming are open to conjecture. The terminology suggests war, but it could equally indicate some internal adjustment in the European community. Woo! That's my new spooky moment alert. All right, I don't know if it worked. I'll work on it. But this was written in 1994. I'm going to read that passage again. The terminology suggests war, but it could equally indicate some internal adjustment in the European community. Internal adjustment in the European community. Want to hear something weird, dude? I go to the. You watch my really good videos. I pull videos and films from everywhere I can find information, different places. And so when I went to go pull videos on the formation of the euro in the EU, I couldn't find much, like nothing, no videos. That's another thing, that by having everything digital, they can change it at the click of a button. That's why I've always been a fan of books, bro. It's hard to change book. They used to call that shit whiteout. Okay, and here it's saying maybe the Antichrist comes through the change in the EU. Wild. In the same letter, Nostradamus says more about the timing of the arrival of the Antichrist. Then the great empire of the Antichrist will begin where once was Antilla's empire. I think it was Attila the Hun. What did I say? Antilla. Maybe he was the Attila of the ants. The new Xerxes, Xerxes, will descend with great and countless numbers. Okay, another thing, I'm reading a translation of Nostradamus. So if you actually read the Nostradamus quatrains, you will know how malleable they are, and they can be interpreted into so many other things. Attila, the king of the Huns, nicknamed the Scourge of God, claimed divine descent and the rulership of the world. Nostradamus sees the Antichrist in similar terms, as a figure claiming to rule the world and beginning his rise to power from Germany. Wait, what? He also refers to the Antichrist as the new Xerxes. Xerxes, 485 to 65 BC, which made him about 80 years old. Wow, he lived a long time for 2,500 years ago. He was the king of Persia. I bet he got to call a lot. Wanted to conquer Greece and burnt Athens to the ground. Sounds like a dick. This passage suggests that the Antichrist will want to destroy the foundations of Western democracy, symbolized by Athens. in Athens was built by Athena. Asterisk. I can't verify that. Nostradamus gives physical signal. Live. A mistake can be made. Nostradamus gives physical signs of the Antichrist's arrival. This will be preceded by an eclipse of the sun. Dun 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 dun. More obscure and tenebros. What does tenebros mean? Tenebros. 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 Tenebrosa. All right, this will be preceded by an eclipse of the sun more obscure and tenebros than has ever since the creation of the world, except that of the eclipse after the death and passion of Jesus Christ. So I was talking to a smart lady who knew a lot about chakras a while back. She said my throat chakra was stuck. And so until that gets unstuck, I don't know what my actual voice is. That is crazy. The three next total eclipses of the sun visible in the UK and Europe will be on August 11th, 1999, September 23rd. I was talking about in the UK. 2090 in October 7th, 2135. One of these will mark the arrival of the Antichrist. Did we figure out what Tenny Bros means? I know how smart y'all are, and my cigarette is out. We gotta. How can we solve this puzzle if we don't know what Tenny Bros mean? See, here's the deal, man. This tastes like cigarette. Menthol. Tastes like cotton candy. Blue Moon. The last coincides with Max Toth's supposed fourth incarnation of the Messiah. 4. But in Quatrain X72, Nostradamus refers to the first of these dates. Here's a crazy question. Yeah, this is, I think of it, I'm a screenwriter. So in like mythological terms, so like let's say you had the Islamic second coming, the Judaic second coming, and then the Christian second coming, all arrive at the same time. But then they got into a fight. And then they decided they were going to work together to save the world. That would be a cool story. Comic books. It's like, that was nothing that fascinated me as a kid because they were like, okay, they had people write the books way back in the day, the Bible, the Old Testament, and they had people write the New Testament. And I was like, hey, man, what if someone writes the newest Testament? And then religion is always like, no. It says specifically at the very end of the book, no one is ever allowed to add to the Bible ever. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. He will bring to life the great king of the Mongols. Before and after war reigns happily. Mabus. If you ignore the adjustment to the calendar that occurred after Nostradamus' death, the change from the Julian to the Gregorian calendar and the eclipse will occur at the end of, okay, it wasn't the eclipse, 7th month of 1999. The contemporary American psychic Jean Dixon had a vision of the birth of the Antichrist on the 5th of February, 1962, the day of another solar eclipse. My mom went to Jean Dixon to get what do you get? A reading? I always thought that was interesting. I said, Mom, what did she say about me? And my mom said, not a damn thing. I live a weird life. I've always lived a weird life. I'm not the Antichrist, though, because that dude's a dick. If we accept this truth, then he will come to power at the age of 37. Woohoo! I'm 47. Shwoo! Also on the solar eclipse, Nostradamus gives us one more time clue. Just before the time of the Antichrist, there will be found someone from the 50th degree who will renovate the whole Christian church. Well, the whole Christian church has not been renovated, unless you count the mega church explosion that happened in 1999 when they were selling all those rapture books left behind. They try to tell people, no, it's doomed. There's nothing you can do. Al Gore's flying a helicopter and he's going to go terraform Israel to turn it into some weird Japanese paradise of bushes and trees. Did you ever read Left Behind? It was fascinating. At that time, they were like, oh my God, Al Gore's the Antichrist. And then they just slowly switched to whichever non-popular Democrat is and that dude is or lady's the Antichrist. Like, dude, no. You know there are trillionaires out there, right? You don't know their names, though. It's okay. As the 50th parallel of latitude goes almost exactly through Krakow in Poland, it might be that Nostradamus was referring only to the Pope to have come from the city. Oh, so there's got to be an evil Pope before the Antichrist. Has that happened yet? I too love information. His papacy will precede the reign of the Antichrist, further confirming 1999 as the correct date. Okay, but Nostradamus supposedly said that the Antichrist would be here for 27 years. I don't believe that though, because I think the Bible says they come for a time and a half, and no time at all. Or it's like their time is over before it starts. It's like the moment the Antichrist rises, it's over. Who knows though? Like, there's one thing that YouTube does not have. It does not have people who've been really good at predicting the book of Revelation out, specifically event wise. The only shot I ever took at it so far was when I said, I think the global stock markets are the beast mentioned in the Bible because it says that the beast can wipe out nations with just the swing of its tail nonchalantly, and it's a beast. It's not a human being. So the global stock markets have always been, well, it's what I picked as what I think the beast is. And I think when I did the Dragon and the Beast economy video series, that's directly what I was referring to. Probably. Who knows? Oh, and then that ties back into the love of money is the root of all evil. You know? It really is weird, man. Fiat currencies and all. Like, we ain't got to worry about hyperinflation. We got the blockchain, bro. I'm like, oh, well, if the currency credit problems don't get handled properly, then you have to transition that shit, man. No matter what, a grand transition is going down, good or bad. Exactly. Corporations are people according to the Supreme Court. And they literally murdered asterisk around the literally, that word is too overused. They murdered Scalia with a pillow. They're like, how did he die? He choked on a pillow. Well, it's Julia, what about my kitties? Scalia's dead, but are my kitties okay? I mean, it's like shit is just, and this is why I talk about Scalia was a conservative and he was on the conservative aisle. The people that are over all the people everybody talks about, their agenda is much different than Republican or Democrat or America or England or India or Saudi Arabia. True pirates don't believe in national lines, people. And the pirates that have gone over 100 leagues above our planet technically don't have to follow any bylaws of the planet itself. They're like all of our pieces of paper that designate laws and rule of laws, and they cease to exist 100 miles up. Nostradamus talked about it, and it's true. And that was why the big space treaty of 2015 was a big deal when the corporations and everybody was trying to figure out how you're going to divide up space. Now it seems like we're in the abundance world where, with quantum and with the giant Moore's Law technology jumps that the private industry has seen that the public has not, like we now have so much more than we thought we were, and so the as Amber Khan, the wonderful Quietest Revolution put it, the abundance is a test. Not sure she was talking about a grand transition metaphor, but works perfectly. That you can't try and figure out how to bottleneck everything as you've done the last 5,000 years of money, 500 years or 3,000 years of money. Same way, if you got tons of water coming in and tons of gold coming in and tons of diamonds coming in and tons of shit, you have no idea. I know that multiple people keep trying to stress to me the importance of getting people to understand the importance of this interstellar medium we're going through. And I'm like, man, apparently the only thing people can understand these days is politics. So it's a weird time to be super fucking smart. I'm a dumbass. Nicoletta, happy birthday, Elon. And I think everybody should squash their beefs. Like, what do people get for it? I think Buddha said, holding on to hate burns you. I agree with that. I mine and POS crypto. Can't tax that. No, I believe there's $400 trillion out there waiting for cryptos. And I believe that cryptos are there to soak up the excess of fiat currency to buy the banks more time before hyperinflation, because every fiat currency in the history of mankind hyperinflated. And there were 33 of them at around the 43-year mark. We are now technically on year 48. So cryptos may have bought us more time, but it's still hockey sticking. And whether it be 3 years, 5 years, pouring a lot of that crypto money into which of the 52 secret society group corporation families can have the most powerful drone army is not the way to go. I've been saying this for, technically, I said, as I say, the world at age 7, 40 years. I've been working on this 40 years. No, it's just a currency. I mean, crypto's great. If you have a bunch of families who had a bunch of land all over the planet who'd commingled all their lands that they can't even commingle them with their own ownership, cryptos would come in real handy. And the whole thing where the digital, like right now, like I think most of us can agree that I'm definitely one of the best video makers on the planet. And if we're in any type of system where I wasn't kept in a cage, my numbers would be doing better. And so to be part of a system where I could actually, get to reach people, that could happen in a blockchain video environment. So not having a decentralized video, because Google is like the Federal Reserve of video. Can we all agree on that? Google is like the Federal Reserve of video. So to have a decentralized video outlet, that would be wonderful. And because I have friends who are like, you are part of evil social networking, and social networking is evil. I'm like, no, dude, what this is this is the stage. Shakespeare was on it. All the great actors, actresses, musicians, the bards. It's a place you go to do whatever it is you do. And so now Google/Disney controls the stage. Was it Google/Disney/Hearst? Oh, but some of those Hearst chicks are hot. I want to go to Hearst Castle. I still want to go to Hearst Castle. One day, maybe. Oh, dude, I looked at it and there's like a balcony on top of Hearst Castle that looks beautiful. It'd be so cool to make out there. After many years, oh wait, let's get back to the Antichrist. Who will deliver the world? Who will deliver the world from the third Antichrist? Me and my team of plucky super badasses who've survived all the shit that has come down the pipe since 1999. My kitties are fine, Julian. Who will deliver the world from the third Antichrist? Nostradamus writes, the coming of the Holy Ghost proceeding from the 48th degree of the latitude will make a transmigration, chasing away the abomination of the Antichrist, who will have made war upon the royal person of the Pope and the Christian Church. See, I don't think Nostradamus wrote that specifically. Yes, like somebody, Archangel Michael's, the third Antichrist, and his unholy Trinity's ass, dude. Good guys win. And at some point, Nostradamus talks about how the whole world comes to celebrate a Thor's Day. But I love being part of a good team. I would love to be the least funny, least cool, least smart guy in the room. And I could learn from everybody. Blue chicks with yellow eyes. I've gone like a week without thinking about women. You guys are gonna make me tell you. I got to hang out with Harley Quinn, Superman, and Obi-Wan Jr. It was neat. I learned a lot and I had some fun. But it felt like the ghost of Christmas future girlfriend in Scrooged. I just would like to go through a period that isn't rapid growth all the fucking time. But I guess if we are saving the world here, then it's okay. The Savior who will dethrone the Antichrist will come from the 48th degree of latitude. Which they should use his original writings instead of translating them. Did you know that if you translate anything, you screwed it up a lot? So if you translate something multiple times, especially over multiple generations elsewhere. Okay, so the good guys either come from Le Mans, the La Orleans, or the Vienna. Elsewhere, Nostradamus suggests that the Antichrist will survive for 27 years. Okay. So if he started around 1993, right when Kurt Cobain died, that would mean we're on the cusp of this dude getting his ass kicked. We get rock and roll back. We get comedy back. People can naturally get along. And the whole future can start to move forward again. That is wonderful news. We might be a week. We might be a month. We might be a year or two away from it. 1,000 years of peace. It talked about that in the beginning of the book. Like, hey, y'all, the Bible says 1,000 years of peace is coming. Get ready. So we're going to have to start building some super badass cities that are in harmony with Mother Nature. It is possible. Pessimism has been like king shit of fuck mountain over the last 20 years. We even gave him Grumpy Cat. It was like our whatever. Rest in peace, Grumpy. The third Antichrist very soon annihilated. 7 and 27 years of blood will his war last. The heretics dead, captives exiled, blood human, body water reddened, on land to hail. After many wars and much destruction, there will be an almost renewed another reign of Saturn, a golden age. Saturn must not be confused with Satan. It says that. It said Saturn's just a fucking planet, man. Okay, I'm not gonna read the whole chapter so that way I wouldn't have everything for the future. This has been interesting. You guys are interesting. I gotta get better lighting. Shit, I gotta get a deepfake program that makes me super handsome. Do they still have the deepfake program on my thing that makes me less handsome? That was lame. Whoa. Well, I want to thank you guys for being, and ladies, for being here with me. This has been an adventure. I let you into my home. Saturn gives Sagittarius bad times. Well, that was before I'd mastered Saturn. Not saying that I mastered Saturn, but and I believe I told everyone when I was young, I trained in combat on Saturn's moon Titan. How do you think I got to be such a badass? How do you think I've had tons of people, tons of groups, tons of power groups coming after me, trying to kill me, trying to destroy me, trying to drive me homeless, and I'm still here. Talking some of the most powerful people in the whole world, some of the most vindictive people, some of the most angry. And here we are, together, and we might make it. Yeah, I don't think they can stop it. That's why I'm saying I think if things turn around and you have that pipeline of constant negative shit get turned off, then everything can improve really fast. And that, if you even look back on the last 2,000 years, there have been no storm systems that have just wiped out mankind. And so, knowing that we're going to go through changes, but not total destruction, we know that we are going to survive. If we choose to work together. Because, like, one of the issues that people don't understand is that so many people with the Moore's law of technology, with weapons of mass destruction, just kind of like that, we're trapped in like 100-person Mexican standoff. And so there can't really be any one gangster can be like 10. Everybody's got to like work it out. That it's everybody. It's 7 billion people. It's 1 billion families. And that it is our responsibility to not only prevent civilization from collapsing, but to pave the way for 1,000 years of peace. And that a lot of people have gotten really, really rich saying that it's impossible. God, I love you people. It is amazing what we're learning together now. And that's why even all my haters and perturbers and the angry people, I love them. And I thank them. I think if, like, Crystal, I got kind of douchey back in 2015 when I started getting cocky, and I listen to those videos now and I'm like, ugh. And I'm way cooler now, man. So it's, what is it? Iron sharpens iron through the fire. We've all been through the fire together. How long until Neptune goes direct? Oh, I have that information on my computer. I think I was listening to Esoteric. Crap, I forget the second half of his name. He did a thing earlier today on the 5 planets retrograde. And I think he said it's October. Because if I understand correctly, and so far I've understood it pretty well, that it's gonna be crazy, wild. From like now, this counts, till October. And I know that I put out my hurricane prediction this year, and that would fit right in line with that. Um, but I could be totally wrong. Cause like, how wild would it be for me to actually predict the location and date? I mean, that would. How would I follow that up? If I get to a situation where I predicted hurricanes, like how do I follow that up? Like the last girl I kissed is I'm already in like a year and 7 months later. I'm like, how do I follow that up? And that's I can't just keep giving myself problems. You guys are great though, all of you, even the secret people out there watching and listening. I know you're there. I can feel you. Next month is supercharged, but I think it's super weird. Like, if there's one thing I've realized over the last few months, it's that even the most powerful people, rich people, like everybody's been affected. Like, we're all going through all this together. So it's all everybody's been discombobulated and turned upside down, and where they thought they were going or what they thought that was going to happen. Like, we've all had a lot of surprises. We've all had a lot of changes that we didn't plan on. And that my stepfather, I'm gonna try not to cry, passed away last year. Anyway, he was Air Force. Cool. And maybe a year and a half before he passed away. I mean, he was a really cool guy, and he was in the Air Force for a long time, and he knew a lot of people, and he looked me in the eyes and said, "They don't have a plan. They don't have a plan. They don't have a plan." And so, I that is, I've talked to a lot of people in person. Your mind would be like, no way, like almost every single sector. And at the end of the day, all of them have a little bit of fear, or a lot. All of them had parts of the future I could see that they had not seen before. And that overall, there's never been a good master like plan, other than everybody working together. What was the whole point of that? Oh, so yeah, I mean, as your planetary defense commander and the son of two Air Force dads and a super fucking ass kicking mom, we're gonna make it through. Nas put it best. Whatever it is, we'll survive it. And I may have misquoted him, but I think that's how we gotta start thinking about it. That whatever this is, we're gonna survive it. We're gonna adapt to it. You know? I swear the birds sing the world into existence. And it's one of the easiest ways, like when you just think God and the universe created birds. Birds always seem so happy. And birds fly in twos and threes and as groups, and in, I think that a lot of us have said like, man, I would love to be a bird. I mean, I like being a man, though I prefer being a man. More eras. I've always liked being a man, dude. Anyway, you guys are fantastic. What do I think is going to happen? Well, like I said, the G20 just said that all the countries are going to try and work together. And Donald Trump may use, kind of like a seventh grade flirting strategy that used to work really well up until like mid 20s for me, where you could be kind of like a bombastic jerk and like, wow, make all. And then the woman is like, I don't like you. Your first impression was horrible. And then you slowly soften up and show your cool side. And next thing you know, they're eating out of your hand. Those were the days. Up until fucking 2017, man. I used to get to kiss the most beautiful woman on the planet. From like age 13 to like 2017. It was great. Okay, this is weirder than I wanted it to be, and it was only one chapter. But I want to thank everybody who showed up. And I want to thank all my friends, all my family, everybody. You guys have been fantastic. And this has been one wild adventure. I can't remember the last time I was bored. I definitely think it was the 90s. I'd like us all to have a good 4th of July. What better day for everybody to shut the fuck up about politics than the 4th of July? And let's just all celebrate that we made it this far. And if you want to smoke a cigarette, even though people are like, yeah, it's bad for me, man, being planetary defense commander is bad. Oh, there's another 3 things. One, I have this idea. I don't want to do a convention. It's not my thing. I want to do a festival. And I thought if I go back to the old Crystal Blankenship 2015 days, where we tried to do the Astonishers again, so it would be like me, BP Earthwatch, Dutch Sense, Dabu 7, Suspicious Observers, and then we would add a few more people. It would be over a 4-day span in Alpine, Texas. We'd go look at the Marfa Lights, we'd go to the Crystal Caves, and then like Sunday, you get like 1 or 2 bands each night. You get a few presenters. One of the nights would be some of my favorite tarot and astrology people. I think you know a few of my favorites are. Um, and then on the Sunday day, we would have like 3 or 4 or 5 bands. And then we would keep the event small, anywhere between like 2 to 500 people, probably 300 and exclusive. That would be super cool. That would be super fun. Do it in like October, November 2020. But you need a whole lot of stars to align for that. And I've said it would be great if Dave Grohl and Dave Chappelle could come to be the masters of ceremonies to keep everybody in check. So like Dave Grohl and Dave Chappelle would be like the judges. So if there are any disagreements or any skirmishes, we would just defer to Dave and say, you can decide this. Because a lot of times having big egos can be problematic. And that's why I think it's hilarious when people are like, oh man, the elites are locked down and they're in sync and they're fucking us up. Hey, they may be fucking us up, but it's not. I don't think it's because they're in sync. Because literally, like, if you think like Zuckerberg and Bezos and Musk and are all try hard for those dudes to work together, especially if they're like the same type of woman. What was I talking about? Oh, that was number one. Yeah, so that I would like to do that festival, but people probably have to stop trying to destroy me. That would help. And then Google would have to stop trying to destroy us. Forgot who it was in my live feed who was talking about library. And they went down, they made a wonderful video that was edited where all the YouTube creators, including like Philly D, who I like Philly D, Boogie, like a lot of people where they were like, oh my God, Google is horrible. Like worst boss ever. Even Casey Neistat, everyone's like, well, they're yeah, sure, they're kind of being like worse than gangsters. And everybody's like, yeah, they're worse than gangsters. But there's nowhere else we can go. You know, it's kind of like being in water world, where like you're on the big floating thing, and you're like, well, I don't want to get raped in the mouth and the butt all the time without getting fed. And they're like, well, you can always jump in the ocean. You know, like we got no competition. And that reminds me, back in 2015, when I tweeted Mark Cuban, like, dude, you need to just come up with like a YouTube. And all you gotta do is basically put up videos and offer some advertising. And the very next day, they took away my monetization for 3 months. I'm sorry, Massa. Massa, please stop beating me, Massa. I'm sorry, Massa. I hope people don't get offended that I equated Google to slavery because technically it's not. You're free to leave anytime you want to, but oh, I'm rock and roll hair all the way. Technically, me and Fitzroy are supposed to record a 5-song EP on July 7th, so I'm trying to get perfect rock and roll hair for the situation. Go to D Lab. I will, but like I said, the they've been in my computer 24/7, and they don't want me doing much. Like I literally had to walk probably 5 blocks, 6 blocks to find a place where I could get out of their zone that they could tap straight into my machine. Because even when I unplug my router and go into the net BIOS and turn off my net, they can still. We're dealing with like the top NSA level motherfuckers on my channel. That's where I'm at. So anyway, I know I've talked a lot. This has been a fun series. Like I said, I'm having major computer problems. Um, a few days before I got to pay rent and stuff, and I usually do my fundraisers. So I have a feeling that we're gonna get through a lot of chapters of this book the next 5 days. So tomorrow I'm gonna watch old David Letterman, figure out how to set it up like a show, and so I will put more production value into this. I might even wash my hair. Um, might even trim up the beard. Although I like it when it makes my whole face look like a double chin. That wasn't a good joke. Self-deprecation. Nobody really likes it. Why do you do it? Okay, before I get too weird, I'm gonna wrap this one up. But I will see you guys later. Maybe in like a half hour. Maybe tomorrow in the morning. Maybe in the afternoon. Who knows? And maybe through this video, I've touched the hearts of my haters and my perturbers. And they've thought, you know what? Maybe my life would improve too if I worked with THORnews and we were all allowed to be up on the stage. It doesn't have to be Thunderdome. It doesn't have to be American Idol. There can be more than one. You know, it's not like, what is that one movie? The Highlander. Yeah, stop trying to chop my heads off, man. You know, we're all in this together, and I'm like Earth's good luck charm. Um, but if it's because it's just jealousy and envy, I don't know what to do. Thank you, Crystal. To the astonishers. Heck yeah. Peace out. It's like I said, I don't know. I think two of my crushes were here tonight, so that's fascinating. Yeah. You know, I was thinking the other day. You know, a movie was so fantastic that didn't get as much credit as I thought it should have. I Heart Huckabees. I Heart Huckabees was like a Wes Anderson movie that Wes never made. I love Wes Anderson, but if you've never seen I Heart Huckabees, I may watch They Live. Everybody references it, but like unless it is got a hero in it or is really funny, I ain't got time. I did rewatch in honor of my all-female X-Men DC Marvel crossover romantic comedy trilogy film thingy. I rewatched all of Cheers, the sitcom on Netflix. And if you need a laugh, a couple laughs, I highly recommend watching Cheers. It was the greatest show ever. The Fountain from Darren Aronofsky's. It will blow your mind. I'm a big Darren Aronofsky fan too. Although he's really dark and he likes to punch you in the face a lot. Like, what is that one movie about drugs? Fantastic movie. Never watch it again. You know, I learned that lesson. Who knows? Maybe the future will be so bad that like I'll have a beautiful woman call me up and be like, "Hey, let's make out and watch Darren Aronofsky's movie about drugs." I'll be like, "No, thank you." Anyway, Cheers is even better and has aged even better than I expected. And they're all flawed characters. Imagine that. Whereas we live in an age, if you find out someone has a flaw, you tear them to shreds on social media. Lame. Requiem for a Dream. Yeah, Requiem for a Dream. Jennifer Connelly. When I was growing up, because I've always had major crushes. Always. Jennifer Connelly was like so gorgeous and so beautiful. So I can remember before the movie came out, I liked Aaron Aronofsky because I'd seen the movie that he did before that. And then I was like, oh my God, Jennifer Connelly's in it. She's so gorgeous. And I watched the movie and was like, oh no. Yeah, and that kids stay away from heroin. This is Thor telling you you can manage marijuana, but no one in the history of mankind has ever managed heroin. Nobody. A lot of great people have attempted it. Every single one of them failed. And so, if you want to put yourself up against insurmountable odds, Don't do heroin. Join me on Asteroid Bike Club, where we save the world when 70% of the people are like, hell no, we all have to die in a really horrible way. Then life will be so good, it'll be like heroin without the heroin. Did I say that well? You guys are too cute. There's a really cute energy in the air tonight. And cute is non gender fluid. Sweet dreams, Crystal. Sweet dreams, Precocious. Sweet dreams, Peck and Paw. Sweet dreams, Wild Bunch. Sweet dreams, Mama Cass. Sweet dreams, Jahasil. Sweet dreams, everybody. There are a lot of great people out there. This hug isn't enough. We need to have a slumber party, but no. So we should definitely get on that festival thing, and we need to have some type of get together. I don't know if you guys know this. In November is my 7-year anniversary of THORnews, so maybe I should like have a party in Houston or something. And especially if I got those 2 hurricanes right, then hopefully we can have a party. And I would like to have a live music jam. I love to jam, and I know a lot of y'all musicians. How cool would it be to play with Doom Room, the THORnews song? Okay, I think I have a new dream. Sweet. Sweet. Wait, is this live? Yes, it was. But I read a book and talked about everything with dirty hair and bubbles glasses. Julian, what about my kitties, Julian? Are my kitties okay? And then I was talking about titties in a Julian voice, but I lost the energy. It was tidy. I misread it. Tidy. It's the type of cat litter that cats like. It has nothing to do with boobs. Now that we're clear on that, oh yeah, and check out my Cancer eclipse, everything's retrograde asterisk video. It's really good. A lot of great astrology people in it. Although I've cut an hour worth of material that I just have to puzzle around. So it'll be a whole series over the next 2 months, and I'll keep adding new material if I'm allowed to use my computer. I don't know. The artificial intelligence has been really mad at me ever since I came up with the date and the location for the hurricane. And technically, it's been mad at me for like 11 months, trying to kick me out of everything. I'm like, why are you so angry? Why are you mad, bro? Why are you mad? Can't we work it out? Think about something we can do. Pick out a star and stare at it for about 10 to 20 seconds and see if it does anything. Oh, there's some nights where the stars freak out. Sirius is usually culprit number 1, but I can see stars that I've never seen before that I can't find on a map that are must be doing an elongated supernova orgasm. Ooh, that sounds like a fantastic drink. I bet it's frozen. Okay, so I might come back to read the second chapter in an hour or 2. I might not. Who knows? But I know that tonight has been wonderful, and you guys have been wonderful. We went out 2 hours without a single troll, as far as I know. That is like a miracle. See, miracles are possible, people. Miracles are possible. And if we get, just think of all the crappy emotional shit and the crappy crap that's going on in the last 20 years. Think if we get the flip side of that for the next 20 years. How wonderful would that be? Orion. Orion is my favorite constellation. Even as a kid, apparently I was arrogant because I used to walk out and say, there I am, and point at Orion. Hello, hey, Scotland. Why, thank you, Craig. You give me a chance to show my Cockney. That's right. I come from the land of Cock. It's where we talk a bit nargy. Aye, but don't let me bugger you off. Come try my fish and chips, mate. How'd I do? Crap, see, like, new people are logging on and they're coming from cool places. We've got India, Scotland, and whatever secret territorial bunker Crystal might be in. Restlessly kind. Orion. See, Orion is really cool. And Have you looked at Orion, where he looks like he's holding Leonardo da Vinci's flying machine with the whole star alignments? Because a lot of times it looks like Orion is carrying the bow, and then he's got the hammer. I don't know, in my mind, the non-bow hand is the hammer hand. And then, like I said, you can see it looks like he's flying the flying machine. Whoa, whoa. I was once given a dissertation by a woman I was dating on the many levels of female orgasms. Did you know? There's like 8 different kinds on 8 different levels on 8 different layers, which way women can have orgasms. And so I wish they were like clouds. So if I could go back through all my sexual experiences from when I was 13 to 2017, I'm lighting a fucking cigarette. I could have pre-asked all the women to name them like clouds, and then they could call out um, what the name of what kind of orgasm it was, and then have them number scale rated. So then I would know what I was doing at that time, which caused the better orgasms, because female orgasms are much more complicated. Giving a woman an orgasm is much more complicated than giving. Yeah, I don't. Okay, where do we? It is late. I can. Yeah, but Orion is definitely my favorite. What is your second favorite constellation? Get your mojo rising. Yeah, so New England, get your mojo horizon. Horizon, now there's a word. I want to thank everybody for being awesome. It was very starry a few hours ago. Yeah, I was in here talking to you guys or getting ready for this. Are you ready for it? I cooked some eggs. Keep on rising, and I'll work on my cockney. I think I'm getting off this time, as she said, with the assist. Okay. Talk to you guys soon. Who knows when? Thank you, Charles. Thank you, Precious. Thank you, everyone. I gotta get good. Tonight's been great. Wonderful. God bless everyone. Happy 4th of July. Merry Christmas. I'll talk to you guys soon. And if you are my hackers and haters, come on, man. Let me make a couple cool videos. You know you like them. How about turn this thing off? Here we go. Peace out. Talk to you guys soon.